This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, Junior Edition. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl Junior Edition, where some of the smartest middle schoolers in our area show off what they know. Last year's tournament was so successful, it was our inaugural Juniors Edition. We brought it back, so for the next 11 weeks or so, you get to see these students show off what they've got. We begin our tournament with these two teams. Let's say hello to the Durand Bulldogs. Durand is making their junior tournament debut, but their high school team does really, really well in our original tournament. Justin is their captain. Justin, introduce us to your starting lineup.
To my far right is Emily, to my near right is Mary Jane, and to my left is Elise.
Justin and the Bulldogs, welcome and good luck. Facing off against Mila and the Lena Winslow Panthers. Let's have a round of applause for them as well. Panthers are back, and actually Lena Winslow has also a long history in our high school tournament. Mila looks excited and raring to go. Introduce us to who you brought with you as well.
To my left we have Gavin, to my far right we have Sally, and to my close right we have Ev.
Welcome. Are you guys ready to play the game?
Yeah.
Let's get started. We begin with our buzz-in round, so it's very simple. Grab your buzzers, let me know if you know the answer. Two most important rules: wait for me to call your name and say your answer loudly and clearly. Here we go with our first question in our second season of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowls Juniors. Name the mythical Greek kidnapper of Ganymede and Europa who wielded thunderbolts as the god of the sky and leader of the Olympians. Alize.
Alize and Zeus.
Zeus, that's right, you got it. And thank you for the name correction. You get the first points of the game. I'll get your name correct, I promise. New question. Name the country whose Taoiseach, or prime minister, governs counties like Clare and Kerry from its capital, Dublin. Mila.
Ireland.
That's right. That last clue probably helped. And now Lee Wynn is on the board. Name the British author who created characters like the Artful Dodger and Tiny Tim in the novels Oliver Twist. Gavin.
Charles Dickens.
That's right. A Christmas Carol was the other one, also known for Great Expectations and David Copperfield. The surface area of what shape is found by adding the areas of its two circular bases with the rectangular section that is wrapped around it, similar to a label on a can of soup. Alize.
A cylinder?
That's right. You got those points. What Italian Renaissance artist sculpted a marble David and painted the creation of Adam, Mary Jane?
Michelangelo.
Yes, on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. That ceiling is absolutely amazing. What chemical process, which occurs for water at 373.1 Kelvin, converts a liquid into a gas? Mila.
Boiling point?
Yes, you got it. Boiling is correct. Right before the buzzer. What U.S. state includes the islands of Molokai, Maui, Mila?
Hawaii.
Yes, Oahu, and you didn't even need the city of Honolulu as your clue. You're in the lead now. What part of speech can have a subjunctive and interrogative mood, can be preceded by the word to in the infinitive form, and indicates an action? Justin.
Verb.
Justin?
Verb.
That's right. Back to a tie game. Name the classic superhero who witnessed the death of Jason Todd, his second Robin sidekick. Sally.
Batman.
Yes, and his secret identity is Bruce Wayne. Name the Tchaikovsky ballet in which the lead dancer executes 32 fouets in a row while performing as Odile and Odette. Mila.
The Nutcracker.
Incorrect. I will finish for Durand. A black and white look-alike pair, Mary Jane.
The Black Swan.
We can't take that. I'm sorry. We needed the name of the ballet. The ballet is Swan Lake. Swan Lake. The vena cava feed into what bodily organ which receives deoxygenated blood and uses the arteries to pump oxygenated blood? Gavin.
The heart.
Yes, back out through the body. What Amazon-owned services PogChamp and Kappa emotes? Mila.
Twitch.
Yes. You can use those to react to just chatting and gaming live streams. What event was enabled by the Treaty of New Echota and Andrew Jackson's Removal Act, which authorized him to order this forced relocation of Gavin?
Trail of Tears.
Yes, Cherokee people to what is now Oklahoma. Name the poem whose title creature perches on a bust of Pallas and repeatedly answers questions about Lenore by saying, "Nevermore," a work by Edgar Allan Poe. Mila.
Oh, I forgot.
Durand, you could take these points. That poem is The Raven. No points for either team, and that might be that's the first question, second question of the whole round where we didn't get points handed out. Nice job, both of these teams. We're off to a very strong start. Lena Winslow has 80 points, Durand has 40. One round in, 3 more to go. Our volleyball is up after this break. We're back. Round our very first game of the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl Junior Edition for 2022. Before we get to our volleyball round, a very special thank you to Brad Fisher, who is the IHSA head editor of the IHSA Scholastic Bowl State Series. Longest title of any judge that we have. But Brad, we really want to thank you for your expertise and for helping us out. As always, it seems like we're saying your name all the time here because you're so generous with your time helping us judge. All right, on to our volleyball round. Lena Winslow is ahead right now with 80 points. Durand has 40. And that first round, I just want to tell both teams, it's very rare that we get 12 questions answered correctly in a round, and there were only 2 no answers of that whole round so far. So that's really impressive, and we're off to a good start. We probably shouldn't be surprised, as smart as you all are. See how smart you are in this round. It's volleyball, so we just go back and forth till we run out of time here. You can work as a team. Answers have to come from the captains, and because of the flip, Lena Winslow gets our first question. Mila, are you ready?
Yep.
Here it comes. Name the 2020 song about a road shimmer wiggling the vision in which glass animals sing about the late nights in the middle of June that have been faking me out.
Heat waves.
That's right. Actually took more than a year for it to make it to #1, and you get the first point of this round. Over to Justin and Durand for your first question of the round. An 1840s great hunger resulted from a blight on what staple crops grown in Ireland? The buzzer got you. I feel like you were going to name it. Remember that time. The timer will get you every time, but you looked like you were going to say the right answer. It was potatoes, and part of the potato famine. We're back over to Lena Winslow. What objects have cirrus and cumulus types and are made of evaporated water droplets floating over the earth?
Clouds.
Yes, that seems like a very simple answer for a complicated question. That's right, and you're in triple digits. Back over to Durand. The Hawaiian goddess Pele rules over fire and these geological features whose eruptions created the Hawaiian Islands.
Volcanoes.
Yes, that's right, and those are your first points of this round. Back to Lena Winslow. What constitutional amendment guarantees American citizens 5 fundamental rights, including the rights to petition, assemble in groups, and speak freely?
First Amendment.
Yes, that was the First Amendment. You didn't even need me to finish the question. You're so smart, you got that right away. Back over to Durand. What literary character, created by L.M. Montgomery, spells her name with an E in a Netflix series in which she goes to live in a house nicknamed Green Gables? It's Anne. Anne of Green Gables. In fact, the name of the show is Anne with an E. Back to Lena Winslow. Medea by Euripides and Oedipus Rex by Sophocles are plays in what genre of play that focuses on serious and sad subjects?
Drama.
Incorrect. That was a very good guess. Tragedy, opposite of comedy. Comedy and tragedy, kind of those masks that you see representing theater. Back to Durand. Give the general term for the stuff that makes up the universe. This term describes any substance or object that has both mass and volume.
Atoms.
Incorrect. Another good guess. Matter. Back to Lena Winslow. Ancient Greek mathematicians drew regular shapes with a straight edge and this mathematical tool, which is used to draw a circle around a fixed point.
Compass.
Yes. Also shares a name with the magnetic direction finder. Those are your points, and that's how we end the round. So Lena Winslow's kind of expanded their lead a little bit there. 120 points. Durand, you're up to 50, but our next round, the NECA IBEW Lightning Round, has a lot of points on the board. In fact, if you run one of these categories, it's 100 added to your score. We've seen it happen multiple times. We'll see if it happens next. Stay here.
In the Steven Spielberg blockbuster Jurassic Park, what DNA is used to fill in missing dinosaur genomes?
Halftime at our Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl Junior edition this week, game 1 actually of our season. And it's time for the Bergstrom bonus question. So contestants, no points are on the line, but maybe more importantly, a pizza party from Lino's of Rockford. Sally looks like she's really excited about the opportunity for this pizza party. Hands on your buzzers. This is a buzz-in. If you're watching at home, you already saw this question. Contestants have not. Here's the question, contestants. In the Steven Spielberg blockbuster Jurassic Park, what animal's DNA is used to fill in missing dinosaur genomes?
Frog.
Dermot.
Frog.
Say that again.
Frog.
Incorrect. Lena Winslow. Go ahead, Ev.
Mammoth.
Incorrect. Birds. It was bird DNA that was used to fill in those gaps. And fun fact, Jurassic World Dominion came out this weekend, 29 years to the day after the first Jurassic Park was released. So, no pizza, pasta. Sorry, our crew gets to eat that. That's the rules. I don't make the rules up, I just follow them. But we do have some more points on the line. Our NECA IBEW Lightning Round is next, and we'll see you for that. We have a really good game going here. Lots of questions being answered, very rare unanswered questions. Lena Winslow has 120, Durand has 50. Before we get to the NECA IBEW Lightning Round choices, I'm going to go back to that Bergstrom bonus question. And you may notice, so Dermot answered that question first. He's not in the game right now. I hope that's not why he got pulled, Justin, because he got that Bergstrom bonus question wrong. So we did specifically say in the Steven Spielberg blockbuster which DNA was used to fill the gaps. In the movie, it is just bird. In the book, it also mentions frog and bird. So we're going to give you that pizza party to you guys anyway. All right? Plus, that's right. Good job, Dermot. Again, I hope that's not why you got pulled, because you knew you're a reader, not a movie watcher, and we get it. And plus, it's not our pizza, it's Lino's pizza, all right? Charlie would tell us to go ahead and give you the pizza anyway. So nice job, Dermot. Let's move on to our lightning round now. The NECA IBEW Lightning Round contains 3 categories, and you get to pick from these 3, Justin, since you won the coin toss. The categories are small units of measure, best young adult novels of all time, and countries in World War I.
The novels, please.
Sure, you got it. Best young adult novels of all time. Name some novels from Time Magazine's list of the 100 best young adult books of all time. So I'll describe the book. Your answer is going to be the name of that book. You get a minute to go through all of these. Whatever you don't get to, Mila, you and the Panthers get to take that from them, but you only get 30 seconds to do whatever's left. Strategy advice for both teams, since we're relatively new in this tournament, you can pass. That'll save some time if you're stuck on one. All right, Justin, are you ready? The clock will start when I give you this first one. Name some novels from Time Magazine's list of the 100 best young adult books of all time. Here we go. A series of books about a boy wizard written by J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
Correct. The story of a spider who saves the life of a pig named Wilbur.
Charlotte's Web.
Correct. The story of Liesel Meminger growing up in Nazi Germany, narrated by Death and written by Marcus Zusak.
Pass.
A book in which Jonas trains to be the receiver of memories, written by Lois Lowry. Say that again.
The Giver.
You got it. A book in which the title girl butts heads with headmistress Miss Trunchbull, written by Roald Dahl.
Miss Hilda.
Correct. A book in which Stanley Yelnats is forced to search for treasure in Camp.
Holes.
Correct. A story in which the March sisters grow up during the Civil War, written by Louisa May Alcott. That is correct. A story in which Meg Murray tries to save her father with the help of Mrs. Who, Mrs. Witch, and Mrs. What's-It, written by Madeleine L'Engle.
Pass.
A 1960s novel about a gang war between the Greasers and the
The Outsiders.
Correct. And that's the timer. We didn't have time to get to that last one. Very good round. You added 7 to your score. You tied it up. You are now at 120 points. So there's 3 left for you, Mila, and the team, you only have 30 seconds for them. If you're paying attention, you may not need all of that. There's one question we haven't heard yet. Are you ready for the first one?
Yeah.
Name these novels from Time Magazine's list of the 100 best young adult books of all time. Here we go. The story of Liesel Meminger growing up in Nazi Germany, narrated by Death and written by Marcus Zusak.
Boy in striped pajamas.
Say that again.
Boy in striped pajamas.
Incorrect. A story in which Meg Murray tries to save her father with the help of Mrs. Who, Mrs. Which, and Mrs. What's
A
It.
Wrinkle in Time.
Correct. Frequently banned book in which Junior begins high school off his reservation, written by Sherman Alexie.
Pass.
That's the only one left.
Oh. Bruiser.
Incorrect. It's worth giving a guess to that. So you are now in the lead by 10. The 2 no one got. The story of Liesel Meminger growing up in Nazi Germany, narrated by Death, is The Book Thief. And the last one, that frequently banned book, Junior Begins High School Off His Reservation by Sherman Alexie, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. That was a very solid round with only 2 questions left on there that no one got. So now, Mila, it is your choice between the 2 categories that are left, small units of measure or countries in World War I.
Countries in World War I.
All right. Name some countries from their World War I leaders. So I'll name the person who was leader of the country, you name the country. Simple as that. 60 seconds and the same rules apply. Right now you are ahead by 10 points. We'll see what happens after this round. Here comes your first question. Name these countries from their World War I leaders. President Woodrow Wilson.
USA.
Correct. Prime Minister Georges Clemenceau, who hosted the Paris Peace Conference.
Oh, France.
Correct. Nicholas II, the last Romanov Tsar.
Pass.
Kaiser Wilhelm II, the de facto leader of the Central Powers.
Germany.
Correct. Prime Minister David Lloyd George, who served under King George V.
Oh, Great Britain.
Correct. King Victor Emmanuel III, who allowed the rise of Mussolini's fascism after the war.
Italy.
Correct. President Bernardino Machado, who led from Lisbon.
Norway.
Incorrect. Emperor Yoshihito, who provided naval power in the Pacific.
Japan.
Correct. President Feng Guozhong, who was opposed by Sun Yat-sen.
China.
Correct. Prime Minister Joseph Cook, who ordered an expeditionary force to aid, and there's no time for me to finish that. So you're up to 200 points now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, correct? Is that right? Looks like my math is correct.
Yeah.
There's 3 left for you, Justin, and the team. 30 seconds, take all the time if you need it, or answer quickly and we'll move on. Here comes your first one. Name these countries from their World War I leaders. Nicholas II, the last Romanov Tsar.
Greece.
Incorrect. President Bernardino Machado, who led from Lisbon.
Ukraine.
Incorrect. Prime Minister Joseph Cook, who ordered an expeditionary force to aid George V.
British.
Incorrect, but it is worth guessing. The clock is running. Those are the only 3. You gave answers to all 3, so we can stop the clock now. Here's the 3 no one got. Nicholas II, the last Romanov Tsar, is from Russia. He was the leader of Russia. President Bernardino Machado, who led from Lisbon, as in Lisbon, Portugal. And Prime Minister Joseph Cook, who sent the expeditionary force to help George V, was Prime Minister of Australia. Some of those were pretty easy. Those last few were kind of obscure and tough. Here's how our scores stand as we head into our final challenge. Lena Winslow has 200, Durand has 120, and in our Mercy Health Final Challenge, each of these questions is worth 20 points. A lot on the line, and we'll be back with that after this. We have a lot of fun here in between our commercial, or during our commercial breaks here on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl Junior Edition. 1 round left to play today. Lena Winslow is on top. They're already at 200 points. Durand's not too far behind at 120. And each of these final challenge questions in our Mercy Health Final Challenge is worth 20 points. So those scores will change pretty quickly based on how quickly you've answered questions so far this game. So hands on your buzzers, 2 most important rules. Wait for me to call your name, say your answer loudly and clearly. Here comes our first final challenge question. Good luck, teams. What sports 2021 champions include Naomi Osaka at the Australian Open and Ashley Barty? Gavin.
Tennis.
Yes, and Novak Djokovic at Wimbledon. Name the German composer who composed the Goldberg Variations and the Brandenburg Concerto. Alize.
Rue Goldberg?
Incorrect. I'll finish for Lena Winslow. The Brandenburg Concertos in addition to numerous fugues. A rare no answer from either of our teams. That was Johann Sebastian Bach. What organelle made from chitin in plants encloses cells by surrounding the cell membrane? Justin.
Cell wall.
Yes, you got it. Those are your points. This character from the Arabian Nights narrates the story of his adventures to a boy who shares his name when he returns to Baghdad after going on 7 sea voyages. Justin.
Genie.
Justin?
The genie.
Incorrect. Lena Winslow, you could take these points. Ev.
Ali?
Incorrect. Sinbad. What twice-born god from Greek myth was worshipped by the Maenads, became Bacchus in Roman times, and was the god of inspiration and wine? Ev.
Oh gosh. Dionysus.
Durand. Go ahead, Emily.
Dionysus.
That is correct. Kind of a rough way to get those points, but the buzzer clearly got you before that. Nice work, though, on the right answer. Let's get a new question. In what city can tourists visit Angel Island as well as the closed Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, both of which are in a namesake bay spanned by the Golden Gate Bridge? Gavin.
San Francisco.
That is correct. What word describes numbers that are congruent to 1 modulo 2, meaning they cannot be evenly divided by 2? Mary Jane.
Prime numbers?
Incorrect. I'll finish for Lena Winslow, such as 1, 3, 5, and 7. Mila.
Prime.
Incorrect. Odd numbers. What kind of animal is burning bright in the forests of the night in a William Blake poem that ponders the fearful symmetry of its stripes? Justin.
The tiger.
That's right. Also the mascot of Frosted Flakes. Tony. What kind of device, such as a hexagonal mirrored one named for James Webb and one named for Edwin Hubble, can be used to look at Gavin?
Telescope.
Yes, very distant objects. Name the American translator who was sold by the Hidatsa people to Toussaint Charbonneau. Gavin.
Sacagawea.
Yes, as a Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark. And that long buzzer means that's how we end the game with those 20 points for Lena Winslow. High fives all around. Lena Winslow, congratulations. You are moving on to our next round. You will face Keith Country Day. Durand, we're so glad you were here. You played a very fantastic game. Did you have fun? I hope you had fun. It was fun watching you play. How many of you are 8th graders? So it's quite possible we'll see you in the fall in Durand's high school appearance in our tournament. Who knows? But again, thank you so much for being here. And next week, we hope you will be here with us when Marshall faces Holy Family. Thanks for joining us.